And in our final story, we take you to the Philippines. The Southeast Asian nation is countering Chinese attempts to dominate the region with swift crackdown on Beijing's alleged espionage attempts. Now, in the latest, the Philippines has charged 6 Chinese nationals with espionage for collecting intelligence on critical infrastructure and naval assets in the region. Filipino authorities say that the arrested Chinese nationals carried out covert intelligence operations, surveillance and reconnaissance activities in Grand Island, a former U.S. naval base about 35 miles northwest of Manila Bay. Filipino authorities say that Chinese nationals were operating in the area under the pretense of recreational fishing. Investigators said that the group was found flying high-tech drones in the area to monitor both Philippine and visiting American naval vessels. The 6 Chinese nationals were arrested in what the Philippines called a hot pursuit operation on the 19th of March. Manila says that the authorities found photographs and documents of the Filipino and American naval assets with the arrested individuals. The electronic gadgets seized from these alleged spies contain surveillance photos and videos along with fake identification cards. The arrests follow a series of similar incidents this year when Chinese nationals were caught attempting to gather intelligence in the West Philippine Sea. Last week, the Filipino authorities said that they found evidence of the prior presence of Chinese nationals with murky objectives on a ship in the Manila Anchorage area. But the 8 Chinese nationals had left the ship hours before the Filipino inspection. Manila's crackdown on Chinese espionage attempts intensifies as U.S. Defense Secretary visits the Southeast Asian nation, countering China. Now, earlier today, the U.S. Defense Secretary reaffirmed what he called American ironclad commitment with the Philippines as part of their mutual defense treaty. The message was directed at China, that if Beijing proceeds with its expansionism to threaten Manila, Washington won't be a mute spectator.
Deterrence is necessary around the world, but specifically in this region, in your country, considering the threats from the Communist Chinese, and that friends need to stand shoulder to shoulder to deter conflict, to ensure that there's free navigation. Whether you call it the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea, we recognize that your country has stayed very firm in that location and in defense of your nation.
Washington's support for Manila irked Beijing as it accused the U.S. of exaggerating what the two allies see as the growing Chinese threat to Filipino sovereignty. Beijing, however, did not clarify the spiraling spying row with the Philippines. China's continued espionage efforts in the Philippines expose its blatant disregard for international law and Filipino security. Despite mounting evidence of its covert operations, China's refusal to address these actions only deepens the mistrust. As the Philippines strengthens ties with the U.S., China's actions not only threaten Filipino sovereignty, but also disrupt stability in the Indo-Pacific.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.